this is Manindrabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatupula. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Naka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Grove Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini and this is FBC News. Tonight, more than 300 Fijians deported from New Zealand since 2011. Consumer Council questions commercial banks' blunder. A new trend in serious crimes a concern. New Zealand High Commissioner Mark Ramsden is urging Fijians to comply with the law when visiting New Zealand. The advice comes after the revelation by the New Zealand Immigration Department that around 350 Fijians were deported to Fiji from 2011 until now. Sharmin Shivan reports.
A number of Fijians have been deported from New Zealand for living unlawfully in the last 6 years alone. 73 Fijians were deported in 2011, 69 in 2012, 76 in 2013, 50 people in 2014, 79 last year and 4 until March this year.
Just like Fiji, New Zealand has rules around immigration. We encourage people to stick to those rules and to stick to the permits, the conditions of their permit.
Many Fijians who were deported breached the conditions of the temporary visa and stayed longer than what their visa allowed them. Some were working in New Zealand without a proper work permit, while others obtained a residence class visa through fraud and forgery.
One of the things I'd like to think is with these different types of opportunities opening up, the Pacific Access category, the RSE expanding, hopefully people are finding more sort of legal opportunities to stay longer in New Zealand if that's what they wish to do.
Mark Ramsden says there are different types of information readily available on the Immigration New Zealand website and people can always refer to it before going to New Zealand. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
Well, the Consumer Council of Fiji is baffled by all commercial banks in Fiji for causing a blatant error on deducting 20% of the resident interest withholding tax, despite sophisticated technology and highly trained human resources. Consumer Council Chief Executive Pramila Kumar says the banks have access to professionals who should secure consumers' trust, but have failed to adjust their systems. Kelly Vadala has the details.
The Bank of the South Pacific, Westpac Fiji, Bank of Baroda, Home Finance Company, Bread Bank and ANZ are the commercial banks that have entry to most white-collar jobs in the country. The Consumer Council of Fiji says these organizations have charged an incorrect amount of tax from consumers.
What is even more surprising, banks have resources. They also have access to professionals like accountants and lawyers, and yet they make such mistakes. It is such a straight, simple process of ensuring that consumers are protected.
The Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority imposed a 10% resident interest withholding tax effective from 1st January this year, but the banks have continued to charge an additional 10%. Kumar says there are consumers who rely on the bank's resources to assist them in financial services.
There is a need to have better protection of consumers in the financial sector. These are some of the cases, that truly indicate that consumers are quite vulnerable when it comes to financial services.
The Consumer Council says there is an absolute need for reforms in banks' resources, or else consumers will continue to suffer at the hands of negligent players who fail to protect their clients' interest. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Divers will be hauling a vehicle from the Navua River tomorrow that's believed to be buried in the riverbed for a few years. Police spokesperson Inspector Chisea Waidavu says a team of divers were at the scene this afternoon. The car, which is filled with soil, was spotted by divers before Tropical Cyclone Winston hit Fiji. Investigations continue and more information will be released once the car is pulled out. Concerns have been raised on the increase in various serious crimes such as aggravated assault, violent crime, robbery, rape and murder committed in the country. The Fiji Police Force says they are trying to find the root cause of all these problems. Akasita Tale has more.
New and emerging issues of serious crimes is on the high, and the Fiji Police Force says they're working round the clock to analyze and find the reason as to why these crimes are committed.
The perpetrators are treating the victims when they commit this. It's more than just assault. It's like a hated part of it that comes out when they commit this offense. Most of these cases that are being reported, the things that are done to the victim are being done to the victim. It's like strange to Fiji. It's not normally done 5-10 years or before. So these are some of the emerging crime and the trends.
ACP Tundravu says they're trying to dig deeper by conducting more research into this.
As we move forward in terms of the development, these are some of the things that will crop in, and it will be part of that. When we are trying our best, given the resources that we have, we are trying our best to manage that.
Tundravu says the police cannot work in isolation and is calling on faith-based organizations, NGOs, other governmental organizations and the community. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, mother and son team share their love for baking. And thousands turn up at the Today FM Park Jam. Stay with us for more.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music.
Welcome back to FBC News. A survey team from the Department of Mineral Resources and the chief engineer of the Manohan building in Wainivula, Nasinu are separately compiling findings to be released on Tuesday to determine the safety of the building. The building, which houses the Water Authority of Fiji, has been closed from Thursday last week due to several tremors felt in the three-story building. Savarat Tambua reports business will continue as normal.
Measures are now being taken to ensure that customer services at the Water Authority of Fiji remains unaffected. WEF Chief Executive Officer Opetera Vai says their call center has been temporarily shut down but is expected to resume receiving customer complaints and requests from today. It will be operating out of WEF office in Wailoku. Additionally, WEF is currently investigating a location for its customer service center in the heart of Suva and will announce the new location after it's finalized. The Fiji Roads Authority also confirmed that Wainivula Road in Nasinu is now closed and will be open soon.
As I understand it, the road deviation is to allow some testing to be done on the Water Authority headquarters building. And apparently the testing can't be done with traffic on the road adjacent to the building. I guess they pick up the vibrations from the traffic or something.
It says all the operations outside its headquarters will be business as normal. Sawira Tambua, FBC News.
A shopping centre at Princess Road in Tadirua, Suva was completely destroyed by fire around 11 p.m. last night. The shopping centre is owned by a 27-year-old man. There were no reports of injuries or fatalities, and police are still investigating the cause of the fire. Farms that were badly affected by the natural disasters that struck Fiji this year were easily identified thanks to the Food and Agriculture Organization. Director of Animal Health and Production in the Agriculture Ministry, Tomasi Tuinambuna, says relief supplies were also provided for the affected farmers. Savara Tambua has more.
The FAO does not only provide relief supplies, it also assists farmers on provisions of infrastructure, that addresses animal welfare, even nutrition for livestock. Director Tuinambuna says channeling of inquiries and lining up of programs will help farmers during difficult situations.
Be able to contain livestock and not to be a threat to crop farms. And now they've started providing livestock and livestock feed for protein sources.
The department had provided to the FAO statistics of farmers that are in need of infrastructure.
We are starting now with poultry because we believe poultry grows fast, and they should be able to be harvesting poultry meat in the next 6 weeks or so. So that should be a relief to those farmers who normally rely a lot to the livestock which they had lost, and probably some assistance will also be provided to the infrastructure.
Farms in the Central and Western Division were badly devastated by TC Winston and Zina. Tuinambuna says that the assistance that was provided to affected farmers is separate from the normal program. This means if any farmer who wasn't affected needs assistance, they will have to go through the normal process. Sabay Ratambua, FBC News.
Thousands of people turned up at the Today FM Park Jam at the Silver Foreshore last night. Families and friends enjoyed the night with the likes of live bands and performances from Inside Out, Vo, Makare, Masti Dance Group and Rako Pacifica. Today FM Park Jam was a way of spending time with family and enjoying various entertainments. The Park Jam included assorted rides, handcraft and food stalls, with the public appreciating 50,000 watts of sound.
I came with my husband and my 3 kids. It's entertaining. There's a lot of bands playing, and also the stalls that are here.
It looks awesome to me. Most of the people like it. Since my friends wanted to come, so I had to come. I like the foods around here. It's barbecue. Yeah, so delicious.
Yeah, I just plan coming with my friends and then just enjoy ourselves and then go home. I like the stalls and the bands and all the gang dancing over the top.
It's not every day that you meet a mother and son baking team who are churning out some amazing sweet treats in Suva. In our Successful Fijian segment tonight, we meet Marina and Gabby Chiare and hear how their sweet ending started with just a tray of brownies. Jackie Spade shares their story.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
For as long as Marina Chiare can remember, growing up as the only girl with 2 brothers, her home was always filled with good food and yummy desserts, thanks to her mother's gifted hands. The tradition of baking yummy treats continued once she had her own family, but Chiare never thought of turning it into a full-time business.
I got into baking seriously. It was to help supplement my husband's income. There were 6 children, so he was just a captain on a fishing boat, and it wasn't enough. So I decided to make use of my talents.
In 2006, Marina started selling at Suva's popular rock market. Her homemade cakes, cheesecakes and brownies were such a hit that she was contracted to supply Esquire's coffee house, Cafe 30 and Kahawa Coffee Shop.
And my mom always told me, like, you actually have less expenses supplying. But then the need became such that we had so many people asking us, can you please open a shop?
In 2009, Marina supplied Joe's Farm with a tray of brownies. That tray sold out and eventually led to Joe's Farm CEO Michael Joe offering her a space on his property to start up her bakery. She jumped at the opportunity.
The challenges we faced when we first opened was finance. I basically built the bakery on a cash basis. When I make a certain amount, I buy a new cooler. I had the audit and stuff done in the bakery, thinking that I could get a loan for this. But with the banks, it was a high risk. I have no assets under my name, so what happened is that I actually asked my brother to loan me some money. With that loaning up of money, I managed to use what I could get off from him and basically bring Sweet Endings out.
And with her to see her dreams come to fruition was Chiare's 19-year-old son Gabby, who started cake decoration at the tender age of 13, learning what he could from his mom and YouTube videos.
You know, we try to be different. I mean, you look at all the cake shops out there, everybody, you know, they basically do the same thing. So we've both, you know, we've traveled a lot and, you know, we've seen what's out there. So we have our own ideas around it, and then we make it our own way.
The name for their business was next, and it had to be something special after all they had been through to get it off the ground.
I had a major fallout with my family, and so the day I put my mind to baking seriously, it was a beginning to something more sweet and an ending to how I felt that would end everything that I felt that I could really do this. In the years ahead up until now, they were actually encouraging me, but I took it as something that I thought that I will make it. This is how Sweet Endings came about.
Armed with the right attitude and spirit to create something new, the mother and son duo have churned out some of the most amazing treats from their kitchen of love, making them quite popular among Suva cake lovers.
Apart from Joe's Farm, we also supply Super Fresh up here, Tamavoa, and we also supply rock, we supply kahawa, and we supply the model cinema events.
They managed to secure a spot at MHCC and recently launched their new look cake shop.
Everybody here that's doing baking and cake decorating, we have no experience at all with, you know, going to school. Our bakers are self-taught. She taught them. So for me, that's what I'm really proud of, because, you know, you can do anything. You just have to work hard for it and have the passion for it.
Sweet Endings started with 1 oven and 2 freezers. Today they have 2 ovens, 8 freezers, and 9 staff. It's a journey they're proud of.
Anything you want, you just have to work and work and work. But don't forget your family. It's very important.
The Chiares have proven that no matter how simple or small the task may be, if one were to truly put their mind and soul into it, the benefits they would reap will be more than they imagined. A sweet ending indeed. Jackie Spate, FBC News.
Successful Fijians was brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Coming up in sports, Jasper Williams High School and Morris Brothers win Coke Games. And Fiji Under-23 prepare for second match on Brazil tour. We'll have that and more coming up.
Tunisia tua ongonia saurara ondo wulwul tagituna na TV ni na market e tawa ondo talitanga na waronga na Bula FM number 2 na sir
Bula mana viti na dango plasio mataire ngone mai na bulo tabiuni au satu ko nanti ando talita ina warongo na Bula FM
Bula FM number 2 na sir.
Welcome to FBC Sports. Jasper Williams High School successfully retained their title, while Morris Brothers High School won the boys division title at the Coca-Cola Games yesterday. Morris pulled away on the medal count from Natambua High School, while the girls' title had been decided on the silver medals count. Rohit Deo with the details.
Thank you very much. Heading into the competition, Morris Brothers High School were happy to take the underdog's tag. When the dust settled, it was the boys from Flagstaff who finished on top. The school is glad to win the title back after missing out last year.
Well, we wouldn't call ourselves really the champions of athletics. We'd like to be modest about that. But the boys, after losing last year, I think they were more hungry for the win, so they put in the time and the effort and the sacrifice to come back victorious.
Champions, Jasper Williams High School.
It was one of the closest encounters in the girls' division in years. Jasper Williams High School taking it out on a better silver count against a spirited Andida Kambal school. The girls from the west using the devastation by Tropical Cyclone Winston as added inspiration.
We faced many challenges. The TC Winston and Zina,
the sickness that's been going around for 1 week, but that doesn't dampen our spirits.
Fiji Secondary Schools Athletics Association pleased with the level of competition at this year's event.
Yes, it is. It's surprising that the level of competition has really improved. And come 2017, it's going to be much more competitive.
2,377 athletes from 138 schools competed over 3 days. There may have been only 2 schools who won, but every athlete will take back a memory, which will take a while to forget. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Well, the venue for next year's Coca-Cola Games will be decided later this year. Coca-Cola Amatil Marketing Manager Lawrence Tikaram says that although it will be nice to take the games to the West, there are a lot of things to consider before that.
I've always talked about the games getting bigger and better. The games is not about 8-lane track. It's about everything that supports an 8-lane track, meaning the coaches' boxes, the ice bath, the change room, the media audio-visual rooms, the marshalling areas, the places for the athletes to camp. That's all part of the Coca-Cola Games, and that's what we need to consider to ensure that if we do move the games, we have that facility available.
The venue for next year's Games is expected to be confirmed in June. The Chiefs of New Zealand and Stormers from South Africa lead Super Rugby's Australasian and South African groups respectively after 9 rounds. The Lautoka football side beat Lambasa 3-0 in the lone Vodafone Premier League match today. Here are the goals from the match.
Fortunate on that, but what an overlap by Lolai Valu as Lautoka counter-attack. And a Lautoka player down in, and a penalty it'll be for a foul. Let's see what foul it was. Kept his flags down as Dungudangi says it, and Dungudangi has put Lautoka up by 1-0. Kini's long crins and Lautoka penny now, rather Chosavat and Dungudangi. The flag stayed down, and this time they're yelling again. Shohel Khan for the Lambasa side. Lautoka just at walking pace. Shohel now comes in with a shot and he pulls one back.
The league continues next weekend with Nandi to play Lautoka in the match of the round. The Vodafone Fiji Under-23 lost its first match on the Brazil tour yesterday. The Fijians play their next match tomorrow morning. A goal from substitute Danny Welbeck helped Arsenal earn a 1-0 victory over Norwich City in the English Premier League, as Arsene Wenger's men took out a big step towards securing UEFA Champions League qualification. Meanwhile, at 1:05 a.m. tomorrow, Leicester City plays Manchester United. A win for Leicester will see them win their first Premier League title. And you can watch that match live on Fbctv. Occasional showers were experienced over the Central and the Eastern Division. Elsewhere, isolated afternoon showers were experienced. Now, a trough of low pressure lies slow-moving north of Tuvalu and extends over Samoa. A frontal system lies over Fiji and extends east to the north of the Southern Cooks. Meanwhile, a broad easterly wind flow prevails over most southwest Pacific Island countries. Sava was the coolest today on 29 degrees, while other centers recorded more than 30 degrees. Tomorrow, it should be fine in the morning for most centers. However, you can expect cloudy periods and showers by the afternoon. As for the further outlook, occasional showers about the Lau and Lamaiviti group, Kandavu, the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Elsewhere, it should be fine apart from isolated afternoon showers. Southeast winds 20 to 25 knots and rough seas are expected with moderate to southeast swells. Recapping the top stories, more than 300 Fijians deported from New Zealand since 2011. Consumer Council questions commercial banks' blunder. A new trend in serious crimes a concern. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. We go on to a poll question and we are asking, are developed countries doing enough to fight climate change? To answer, you can visit our FBC website. Or send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizens@fbc.com.fj, or you can share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, you can follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. Good night.
को गंगा के रंजिला का नमस्कार। रेडियो फिजी की सुंदर सुंदर यादों का खजाना एकदम बचपन के दिन याद करा देते हैं।
हमारा नाम जोनी नायडू है, हम रहता है मलोरो में और हम टैक्सी ड्राइवर है। हम सब टाइम अपन टैक्सी में रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता प्रोग्राम।
हम सिंगाटोका के हैं, हमारा नाम है रोजी। हम लोग यहाँ पे रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता है।
राम राम, मैं रेमस प्रसाद बोलता हूँ, तब वता में कोई रहता हूँ। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फिजी 2 ही सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।